Hey guys, Case with Top Branch. We're going to be talking about how to take down one of these multi-stem trees. This is just a white pine that was in the field when it was really small, and as it grew up it got weevilled, so a bug kept cutting the top of it off basically, and it made all these multiple stems. The problem you have with multiple stems is as it grows up you have branches that are kind of intersecting each of the leaders, so it's hard to get it so that way you can do individual leaders sometimes unless you pull or unless you climb and cut those key areas off. We're going to show you kind of how we go approach a tree like this so that way we can do it all in one big fell swoop. It's a little on the dangerous side sometimes because your bar can get pinched and things like that. Plus, you want to do it so that way you relieve all of your cuts and stuff, and then the back tree is what does all the pushing and makes it so that all your other trees want to fall off. And if you don't do the hinge quite the right size or your back strap the right size, what can end up happening is then you have to cut it when there's a lot of pressure on different trees, and then that's when things are dangerous. So don't do this at home, don't try it at home, but if you have a tree like this is how I would go about to do it basically. Let's go check it out and see what we have to deal with. So when you have lots of intersections, a lot of times you want to you don't want to be cutting into these intersections here because it changes the thickness and the holding wood of the tree changes when you're cutting these guys. And sometimes if you cut into a crotch, what happens is the two branches will go 90 degrees from where you're trying to send them. So basically I'm going to have a couple different elevations of where my hinges and things are gonna be at. Like this tree here, I'm gonna have it nice and low. The leader that's kind of sweeping is gonna be about head height. This guy is same head height, and this guy is right about here. So there's kind of all different heights that these are gonna have to be at. I'm gonna end up just doing my faces, and then I'm gonna plunge into them, leave my back strap relatively good size, and then this tree here is what I'm gonna be putting my wedges in to help push over, so all of them will go the exact same time. And it might end up being where we take half it down because it doesn't look too much like this half is tied into this back half. So if things don't go quite what we want them to do, I can always do half and half basically, but I'm gonna try and do everything at once just to see if it works. So let's start doing some face cuts, and basically I'm gonna be sending it kind of right in the middle of the field anyway, so there's nothing to worry about. I'm just gonna make sure all my escape routes are nice and clear, so that way if something happens I'm gonna run. Saw gets pinched, don't hold on to it, don't try and get it out. It's the $1,400 for this saw is not worth your life basically, because you can buy another one. It's tough to buy a new leg or a new back basically. So we're gonna start on this side over here. A lot of times when you look at this this really big sweeping leader here, there's a lot of what they call reaction wood in it, which is the wood that is being affected the most by all the gravity from that excess. Basically the center of gravity is way over there, so that's why the tree is making up for that by putting in what they call compression wood in softwood trees. So I'm gonna basically cut into this kind of weird shape area over here, plunge into it, leave a solid 2-inch hinge and a big like 4-inch back strap on this side over here. This is the dangerous one where there's a lot of roll that could end up happening. So I'll do my first one over here first, so that way if I'm working on this one and this one's ready to go, it doesn't just come down to me when I'm not expecting it basically. So basically I'm going to start from low to high, slowly work backwards, and then end on that big tree that's on the back side over there. This one here, I would like to be on this side when I'm cutting this tree, but I can't, so I'm just going to switch hands of my chainsaw, end up putting my my left hand running the trigger, so that way I can aim it where I want to be, and then it's comfortable for me to do my work that I'm doing here, and then everything comes out nice basically. don't have a ladder or anything. This guy's dangerous, mostly because when this one pivots, it's gonna want to hit right about here. That's why I left this this face right here relatively shallow, so it breaks off and it's disconnected and doesn't make it so it wants to go one way or the other way. So now let's do our big one. We're gonna put it on the ground. Okay, now there's one that is holding all that up. I'm gonna touch my back strap on that one and I'm gonna run away. And I'm actually gonna be on the other side. Mostly so I'm out of the way of this big one from rolling. The stump will protect me on the other one and I have an escape route. And if I need to, I'll go into the river. There's a mess for you. Makes me feel better. Another video that we did talked about fiber pull. That's exactly what this was right here. So basically my back strap was pretty good size. It was basically like 6-8 inches, and that was holding the whole entire tree up, which is why I couldn't push it over with just the wedges basically. So I ended up cutting it. They all came off, and like we predicted, this one here came disconnected before it hit these guys, and it was going to be up above that one as we kind of called it. But good, glad it went the way it was supposed to go. Now we have more work to do. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe. Throw those comments down there on all the videos that you want to see, and we'll try and add them as they come up in our daily work basically. But we really appreciate all your guys' support and everything like that, and we'll see you guys in the next video, and keep sawing out there.